My name is Jalen Stinnett, and this is my wife, Rachel. We have accepted your guys' youth ministry position down there, and we'll be getting down to you October 1st. I was born and raised here in Michigan, Kalamazoo, Michigan to be specific. I had two older brothers and an older sister. Always grew up in the church. We're always there Sundays, Wednesdays. When it came time to go to college, I decided to go to Rochester College, which was in the eastern portion of the state. Graduated there in 2016 with a youth and family ministry degree, and then ended up getting married to Rachel just this past May.
And I was raised in the Metro Detroit area. Most of my life I moved around quite a bit, so there's not really a particular place where I can call home yet. I have a younger sister and three older stepsisters. I was not raised in the church. I actually was baptized when I was about 17 years old. We actually met while going to college. I knew his older brothers first. His oldest brother was my financial aid advisor. His middle brother was doing the same degree that I did, which was social work, and so we had a lot of classes together, and I actually met Jalen through mutual friends instead of his brothers, ironically. And like Jalen said, we were married this past May after being together for about 4 years.
Snyder, as you well know, is a smaller town, kind of one of those almost you see in the movies, where everybody kind of knows everybody, hang out in a little, coffee shop diner, talk about the high school football team type of thing. Anyway, where I grew up, it was a real small town atmosphere like that. And so it was something when we got down there that I was just extremely comfortable in. It felt like home. And so that was something that it was an instant draw for me, an instant plus. Just being able to get back to that from living over here in the Detroit area now for the past couple years. We decided to pick Snyder. I think it was really just the love that we were shown, and just kind of your guys' continual desire that we kind of saw to go out into your community, and not only to serve them, but to bring them in and bring them to Christ. Those were kind of the two qualities for me that really drew me to you guys.
For me, I didn't grow up in a small town. I actually grew up in very large towns throughout my life, but I always felt that large towns kind of swallowed me and I was kind of left in the background and I never really seemed to fit in. But from dating Jalen and visiting his family in his small town up here in Michigan and being down there with you guys a couple weeks ago, small towns really is where I seem to fit best. It's the type of atmosphere I fit in best, and so I think that a small town, even though it'll be an adjustment, is where I belong. And East Side as a whole was just a huge blessing for me when we were down there. I was really worried about moving so far away from home if we got to that point, and just how accepting people were going to be of me, and instantly I felt love and I felt compassion, and I really did feel like Eastside was home when I got there, and so that's kind of why we picked it.
Fun activities, have a number that I'd love to do. Three that kind of just came to mind real quick when I think about fun activities to do. The first one is a Nerf war. Now I know what you may be thinking. Some of you, most likely guys, would be thinking, yes, that's awesome. Girls, you may be thinking, stupid Nerf war, seriously, we're teenagers. Either way, that's okay if you come and participate in a Nerf war. I think you will have a blast no matter what. Coming and hanging out with friends from church, and just being able to relax and have fun and shoot each other with foam bullets. And then another thing would be just kind of a bowling night, just going out and bowling with each other. It doesn't have to be anything too serious. Some of us may take it more seriously than others, depending on your competitive nature. And then just kind of hangout nights. Kind of, you come either to our house or to the church, and just hang out with each other, talk with each other, get to know each other. Maybe play some card games. Maybe video games, and really just spend that time trying to get to know each other all just a little bit better.
And I'd really like to open our home, like Jalen said, bonfires. I'm a huge volleyball player, and I'm actually a bowler. I did varsity bowling, so sorry about the whole bowling nights thing, guys. But I'd love to put up a volleyball net in our backyard, do some volleyball, pizza, like Jalen said, video games, just things like that. Bring you guys over to our house and just be real with one another and really try and build those relationships.
Other ways that we'd like to see the youth be involved would be through opportunities of serving others. And one of the first things that I think of right off the bat when you think of serving is the community that surrounds the church, or just the community as a whole. And with where the church is right in the middle of that neighborhood, I think we have a great starting point of being able to go and meet people's needs, whether they are in the church or not. I think that's a point where we can go out right away, start making a difference in people's lives. And then outside of that, working more within the church body, I think doing a dinner where the youth serve the rest of the church body. So many times we have people serving us today, instead of us going around and doing the serving. And so I think it's a really neat opportunity for them just to be able to see what it really means to serve others.
And I think it'd be really cool also to see more of the pay it forward type aspects of service too, like holding the doors open for people as they walk through, pulling up chairs for elderly or people who don't have a place to sit, things like that. The students that we have reaching out to students who maybe don't have very many friends, or is that awkward kid, or things like that, and just becoming their friend and really showing the love of Christ to the people that they see on a daily basis, because that's where we can truly start to show people who we are as Christians and be a light to them in the community.
If you were there the Sunday that we visited, you heard me say in service, or maybe you heard me say it in the class and in service, and it's something that you're probably going to get sick of hearing, from me in particular, but it's that you are loved and you are chosen.
And to expand on that a little bit further, one of the first commandments that we have is to love your neighbor. That is the biggest thing that I have to remind myself of even daily sometimes, is it doesn't matter where you came from, what you look like, how many piercings or tattoos you have, whether you grew up in the church or not, whether your parents are divorced, the decisions you made, whether you were pregnant when you were 16, none of that matters. What matters is that we are supposed to show the love of Christ, and we are supposed to do that regardless of where people come from, or even at times how they act. And I think that that's the biggest thing for me to remember on a daily basis, and I hope that I can share that with all of you.